Hello YouTube. So today we are going to test the Pajero Sport Automatic. It's got a 2.5 liter engine which produces 178 bhp. Engine is pretty lively. Engine is fun to ride, but the automatic, it's not up to everyone's taste. It depends. It has a mind of its own. Sometimes it's perfect. It rides like nothing else. And yes, compared to an Endeavour, I like its transmission more because it feels like 100% automatic. It doesn't have that torque converter, that CVT feeling. And this engine produces about 350 Nm of torque, whereas the manual version, the manual Pajero Sport, produces 400 Nm of torque, and you can feel the difference. Performance is brisk, just that it's an SUV. It is scary to push it around too fast. After 100, this vehicle is not very, in a straight line it is very stable, but if you have to encounter turns or make some sudden movements or brake for that matter, it doesn't inspire confidence that much. As I told, this makes 350 Nm of torque and the manual Pajero Sport makes 400 Nm of torque. The difference can be felt. The manual pulls like an animal. It has a lot of power. It just pulls and pulls. It is an animal. If you are someone who loves to drive and wants to take your car around ghats or off-roading, though of course you cannot take this car because it doesn't have a 4x4 shifter. Brakes are pretty spongy. We've had a lot of problems with the brakes, and after sending it to the workshop on various occasions, it is now livable. It's okay, but still, if we get a chance to upgrade the brakes, we would definitely go ahead with it. Compared to the manual, this feels very refined. There's very little sound inside. The engine is smooth, and if you want to drive aram se, it is perfect for you. In city, it is effortless. The engine is effortless. The transmission works pretty well. Brakes are also okay in low speed, but the steering is pretty heavy. And while making a U-turn or exiting a corner, I would recommend never giving full throttle because the vehicle would spin off. It is fun if you can control the bulk. It's about 2.1 tons, so if you can control the bulk, it is okay. But vehicles, because due to the lack of traction control, it loses traction and it's rear wheel drive. Let's turn the air conditioner off. You're going in automatic mode now. It has paddle shifters, this huge beefy paddle shifters, which are good, and we have a competitor. It's a 2.4. Sorry, bro. Let's take manual control. Third gear. The sound isn't that bad. It is not very intrusive. It feels good. It gives that character to the vehicle. Talking about the automatic, it is a smooth shifting unit, and as I told, it doesn't feel like an Endeavour with that artificial CVT feeling. It pulls normally. Acceleration is brisk, no complaints. A vehicle strongly pulls till 140, 150, doesn't have any problem. And after 140, maybe due to the wind resistance, it doesn't pull that hard. After that, the engine feels strained after that. Suspension compared to the Endeavour is pretty good, because the other day I was traveling in the Endeavour, the last row, so I had a terrible time there. The ride was too jittery and I just wanted to get out of the vehicle, and it was a 2-hour drive. I'm never sitting in Endeavour's last row again. So compared to that, the ride here is very cushier, not jittery, but you can feel a noticeable amount of bulk and roll. See, on that much braking you can hear the tire squeal, and it is not the standard MRFs that was given with the company. We got it changed to Michelin. Does a pretty decent job. So about the automatic, on lifting the accelerator, you can see the vehicle goes to neutral, and on giving the accelerator it selects the gear which is suitable. But yeah, since it moves to neutral all the time, you can feel that slight delay. Third gear, 100, 4.5, 120, doing 3000, 3.5, 140, fifth gear. Straight line stability is amazing, but yes, on braking is horrible. You can see the whole vehicle jittering all around. After 100, the brakes are really poor. Plus, its brake pads are not very old. It's done maybe 2000 kilometers, not more than that. But the ride is amazing. Straight line stability was, I didn't feel any problem there. Today there are no crosswinds, and if there are crosswinds, you can feel the vehicle literally going under your hand, it pulling towards the direction of the wind. You have to make constant corrections. Talking about the fuel economy is not good at all. If you're driving sanely, you might get about let's say 9. Combined highway and city usage might give you an 8.5. But trust me, the manual has a much better soundtrack to it. It feels like an animal altogether. The slide corners are also okay, but brakes are terrible. We are doing 40, fourth gear. I'll take it to 50. Doing 60 in fifth gear. I'm giving half throttle. It pulls reasonably well. So yes, and if you're going a bit fast, if you're doing over 120 on the vehicle or travel or doing city all day, a bit enthusiastically, you are not going to get more than 7.58. Reality, you're going to get just about 6. Engine braking from the vehicle is not there. So as soon as you lift leg from the accelerator, the vehicle is in neutral. It lacks a traction control as well, because its transmission is tuned that way that whenever the vehicle launches, the RPM till 3 is really controlled. No matter how hard you give the accelerator pedal, the vehicle will never pull below 3000 RPM in first gear. And if you are giving full throttle, there is a chance that after 3000 RPM you are going to spin your rear tires as is off. You can hear the tire squeal. Performance is pretty brisk. 140, 150, fifth gear now. Oh bro. Brakes are horrible. See, because as you can see, this happened right now. You have no confidence in the car. The engine is punchy. It's got a lot of power. It's got a lot of meat. It's got grunt. Brakes let this vehicle's character go down completely. But there is one thing I've observed with this vehicle, and if you are riding a bit enthusiastically for some time. The transmission's characteristic changes, you can feel it. It holds on to a higher, lower gear longer, and see you can see there is a slight engine braking coming, which is not much use. Third gear, second gear, there was zero jerk. I couldn't feel the gear change. Normal. Oh, there is roll, there is roll, there is a lot of roll. 130. Traffic in Gujarat is horrible. Never trust the trucks. So it has got, of course, the automatic mode. Or if you want to take manual control, you have these chunky metal paddle shifters, which I think come straight from the Evo 10, and it has got the Tiptronic function as well. You can tip it to one side, and yes, that is fourth, that is third, fifth. This vehicle makes a lot of sound outside. We are doing 110 and car is at, we are doing 100 and car is doing 2000 RPM. The engine is doing 2000 RPM, which is reasonably okay. I'm just tapping the throttle lightly. It is smoothly pulling. 90, 100. It's a very relaxed vehicle for that purpose. But if you can find something to do something with the brakes, it will be an amazing vehicle. And about suspension, you could update it to a Bilson B6 suspension. It's an enthusiastic corner coming up, 120. No problem there, no problem at all there. Problem only arises if you have to brake in the middle of a corner. You're dead then. See, as soon as I started driving sanely, engine has come back to, the engine is running in neutral, engine braking is gone now. Transmission is also performing pretty smoothly now. It is shifting to higher gears. The transmission doesn't like to shift gear as soon as you give part throttle. It will just pull in that gear, and low and grunt is okay, so there is nothing to complain there. There isn't too much tire noise, but compared to the Endeavour, yes, because maybe it has active noise cancellation system. It doesn't. Its refinement level is not that high. Engine is refined, but overall, the suspension sound, it is not that noticeable in the Pajero Sport, but after, when you're sitting in the Endeavour, it feels altogether different. It feels really silent. But if you want to drive, of course, the 3.2 packs in a lot of power, but this 2.5 has enough power as well. It is enthusiastic, and if you really want to have some fun, there is the manual Pajero Sport, which, trust me, is an amazing car. You should, if you don't take my word for it, go take a test drive. Ride it hard. It's got the power, it's got the stability, it's got very good brakes. The steering is also very good, and the four-wheel drive system is fabulous. So this is where the Pajero loses out to its rivals. The interior design is okay, it is decent, it looks good, it is simple, but it hardly has any features. You find these hard plastics here, it's all hard plastics here. Although the chrome looks good and the forward also looks decent. This is where the 4x4 shifter is located in the 4x4 version. This is where the older cars had their stereo system. So it looks horrible, since so much of space is kept open without any covering or anything. It's It definitely looks like it was an afterthought, the touchscreen. Today I did a highway run and a city run, and was pretty enthusiastic with the car. So the average is 15.7 liter per 100. So for calculating that, you have to do 100 by 15.7. Going to manual mode, giving it the beans.